I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is September 3rd, Wednesday, 2025. Hope you had a good day today. So we talked about a couple shakeout ideas, being the 15-year data. So we wanted to kind of push up and then retrace back and all that, right? This is like literally like the whole month plus, right? But in general, a little tricky, but at the same time, you can see that we pulled back into this imbalance, right? So we didn't get any deeper of a breakout area. So then we pushed up and I found myself up here. So what they're doing is you can see that we're looking for this liquidity, right? But you were sitting here underneath that gap. This gap is still very influential. As you can see, we're using it from what? July 27th, right? But the liquidity, especially these three guys right here, was really the goal. First, because we're doing drive 1, drive 2, and then there's a miniature one in here on a smaller time frame, and then kind of like drive 4, right? But on the higher time frame, you can see this just pretty much like 3 drives, right? And sweeping outside the gap. I talk about that all the time as far as like buys and sells. And sure enough, that internal liquidity was, look at this shit. The internal liquidity, they're just trying to get back to that first imbalance and that 930 level right now. But, speakering out here, very, very common. And I had a very strong idea that was going to happen. I'm going to go into the trades real quick. Again, I don't know how I can not show trades and then still explain things without explaining things and not sounding fucking crazy. But what this was here is, I was on the right side of the market today as far as the beginning. And you can see here, we get to that gap. So remember, we have that gap that I talked about. Then we have the opening week gap. It's inside it. So it's like a black hole, right? So we're attracted to it. And then we have the first imbalance right there of the month right there in the green, right? But underneath we come in and we tag it, and notice how this high doesn't get taken out. So we got a little gap right here, but me intentionally using this level, that's the rejection wick. I'm drawing not the candle, I'm drawing the wick. Look, it's crossed out right to it, right? So I come in and I'm immediately getting in, right? And this candle pushes up, tags my entry again underneath the actual gap. Why is that important? Because the people who are selling here outside that gap, they're coming back to get them. And also, we have a inefficiency from yesterday's opening range gap, right? Now, here's the thing. This is a lower high. So I understand that, if we're bullish or bearish, whatever, they're going to want to build liquidity here. So we would rather not see them take that out. But what was the goal here? Well, I know the opening range gap is levels right here. It's so much to talk about, but I have this first circle here, and this is my target. This is the agenda for the preset for the beginning of the day. Whatever else happens, this is my straight target. So, and then, what's it called? My goal is to algorithmically get delivered right to that 50%, but more importantly, also that opening day gap, right? Because if you look on the 15-minute, it's a breakout area. Literally went right above that high, right? So I'm trying to get in here and seal as much as this as I can and get out. As you see me, I'm squeezing out, I'm done, right? So, with that understanding, I have this next circle here. At the time, I was using this retracement, right? And I had this retracement with this guy right here. So 3.5 to 4 was also the reason of my goal here, right? So we tag it, we get to the first imbalance here, we come back, it's a breakout area, it's very common, and sure enough, we get another drive. I want to hold it for a couple drives is what I'm doing. Again, this could be bullish, and sure enough, that's what they did. So here, you got push up 1, we get the push up 2 as a retracement, and I was hoping that it would just pull down and come for, well, the sealment, obviously the midnight level here, and then get into maybe the low of Asia, because we have 10 o'clock news today. So anyways, this trade's done. It's out. So take a look here. I'll try to move fast, but here, and watch, and to show you, I got that little circle still there, and then I have this circle here. I actually have one down here too, but I have this one here. Why am I highlighting this? Well, I just told you about this, right? Did I tell you about that? Yeah. Well, yeah. So the breakout area, that imbalance, see how we bust through that high? And then we have that sealment, right? And then I was using this -1 at that time. Okay. So the circle's still there. And then we have that circle there. I'm highlighting the top of the fucking midnight level, and then obviously below it is that piece of liquidity right there. Notice this. Just notice this for a second. So the whole time I was bearish, right? Not like bearish forever, but just in general speaking, bearish, because we pushed up, right? And I'm expecting a sell-off back into the range here from this fuckery here, right? So what do? Well, this, man, so I get chopped up a little bit. This price pushes up here and gets back into this wick. I take this sell, comes down, does not take out this low. I'm like, come on, bro. And I understood that we bounced on that 25%, right? So it is a high and a higher low if it doesn't break that, obviously, and then it didn't break it. So what did it do? It fucking rushed up right back. I don't want to see this if I'm trying to sell into here. So anyways, short story, a long story short, it's get out, right? I'm out. Rated. Here again, this fucking price action comes up here. Again, I know we're coming down here. But I can't. This is what manipulation looks like. I can't affect what they're going to do. I take this raid here. Pushes down. Doesn't break this bitch either. And then that's sitting at that 50%. I'm like, come on, bro. But while that's going on, I'm having some difficulty here. Not difficulty, but initially when I took that sell, by the way, that first sell, that's because we had a higher high here with Nas, and then we had lower highs here, right? So that was the simple idea of taking the sell. So and I told myself, well, dude, you're getting structure, higher highs and higher lows up here. And I understood that this could be one more leg up, right? And that's what they did. But I was still married to coming down, and I did have divergences here. That's why I took that sell and that sell, because I had a higher high here, and we had lower highs here. And then I had a fucking higher high here, and it still had lower highs here. So I was like, bro. So, I mean, again, manipulation, right? And it fails. And then when it failed again, this fucking high, is because we didn't bust through. We had a higher low. We had a higher low. Even though they made a lower low and still bought back up. The idea is that this is the still retracing, and then we're getting the structure up for that one final drive. And so that explains. So the point is that when I understood that, I said, okay, well, I wasn't going to buy this because I was still bearish. And we were sitting here at that gap, right? And I was like, man, fuck. So, and then oversold here, we finally get an oversold right here, right? Tagging it a couple times, 3 drives, and 1, 2, 3 at the finale, and it comes outside of the gap. Okay, fine. So should I have bought this? Yes, I should have bought this because I did have flow here and I did have structure, but I was not bullish, period. So I was sticking to it. But I made a mistake and didn't buy this. I mean, I could have bought this too. And I thought about it. I was like, nah, man, this fucking price action is bogus. It's ugly. It was just ugly. Look at these bitches doing that shit now. I swear to God, that shit should be illegal, bro. I swear. Anyways, so what do? We get these last drives up here and we sweep outside. Look at my entry here. Notice I still understand where we're going, so anyways, boom, I get this candle. I'm like, beautiful, 25%. We got this bearish imbalance. It's holding price beautifully. And then this is a London reversal, right? This is what I'm looking at, a London reversal, time involved. So I'm obviously in before it, but London reversal is the logic. Okay, so we come underneath. This becomes an inversion right here. I don't have it dragged all the way out. And what's it called? Push down, seals, push down. Look at the 50% here, from the 25% to 50% to the 25% here. We're inside the gap. We have also that first imbalance of the month. Look at that right there. That's not coincidence. I know it looks like a lot of shit, but it's not. Again, we have done the damage to the left side, right? We've swept that. Okay, cool. So what's next? All this liquidity, right? So what do? We rush down to the first imbalance. Okay, cool. I'm trying to get some drives down before I start really trailing. So when the price came down here, I'm not squeezing it out, right? I allowed it to push up because I'm expecting a lower high to lower low, lower high. I'm expecting structure, so I have to allow that. And I understand we're at an oversold, so this is where I'm wanting to get out of the trade, and I still have a goal to get in here, but I understand that the manipulation of drives down. So now we get this next drive, and I'm like, okay, fuck it. I'm going to let it push up to the candle, it pushed down, and I'm trying to squeeze it out. Guess what? Done. Gets out of the trade, done. Okay? So then it gets a little tricky, because this is just, now this is kind of like the lower low, and where's the lower high? Watch this. So that's this screenshotting here. We push back up for 2 drives up for the lower high. Okay, where does it come back into? Into the gap of the present week. Why? Because when the fucking price comes down, someone's pushing. They're pushing sell right here. Notice how they want to sweep right back up. And the way I'm in this trade is because of this. I should have drawn the line. That open of that candle. Look at that. I'm going to move it over. That's the open of that candle. This up controller price. So we push up, lower high. I use this candle as a sell. I actually get in here first. Bitch, I'm on a overbought right here. And then boom, immediately comes down. And I was so married to getting these bastards. Okay, so married to it. It fucking came against me. And look how dirty they did it. So lower low, lower high. This became 2 drives for a lower low, even a third one. This guy right there. And what does it do? They pull up deep. I was like, oh, I was hoping. See this strong candles pushing down. I was hoping for that here. Okay. What does it do? Pops back up, comes right back. Look how they don't take out that guy. That right there tells me that it's a fucking still a lower high. All right. And there obviously some built liquidity. We just took it out now as we're speaking. You fucking pussies. You fucking pussies. Oh, to the tick of 50% of that first imbalance of the month. Bro, that's not coincidence. You mean tell me, came all the way from the midnight level all the way right there to the tick? Whatever it does from now, doesn't matter. But notice that level. Oh, conveniently, so they built that liquidity below it so then they can come reference it, right? Yo, come on, man. And that 25%. Anyways, let me get back to this. So this comes all the way back. I'm like, are you fucking serious? So here we go. We get another oversold here. We have a divergence. That's my perfect entry right there, dude. I mean, I can't get it any better than that. And I'm still having the goal, or not goal, of the I'm convinced that that's still getting used here. If it kept going from here, this would be a different conversation. Where's the inefficiency? Right here. Where's that liquidity? Right there, right? So, and then bust out level right there. But anyways, so I get back in, it pans out, man. And, what's it called? The 2 drives, see that? And then this, beautiful. That's what I wanted to see. So it comes all the way down, pushes in, back to the 930. Notice how we're up and down that 930 level right there. Breaks from below it. Here's the first imbalance of the PM session. Nice imbalance to get tagged in. Hunts directly for it. Where? My circle. And I got one down here. See it? It's kind of hidden right there. It's the midnight level. You can see that here. Right? So at this point, I got it at break even, right? And I couldn't even squeeze it fast enough, dude. It just started coming down. I was doing some, and my alert got hit once we passed this daily gap. And then I was just screenshotting it and then ready to squeeze out. And I did. And take a look. Take a look. Take a look, buddy. Circle's still there. Oh, you don't say. And I had another one here just in case I wanted to go deep, which is obviously the Asia low. But again, these weren't. This was the main goal here, and then this, right? So this one should have changed to a different color. This should, I mean, back to the green. And so is this, right? But I didn't wait for this. I was completely done once we tagged this. What did we do? We came back up, resistance. Look at that up candle right there. Look at this up candle right here. This 142. Notice how we don't take the high of that candle. That's a controller price candle. It's inside the wick. Doesn't take the high out. It has to reject if it's going to sell. It did. I didn't take it though. And then slithering down, dirty, sweeping the midnight level. Bruh, can't make that up, right? So then, oh, by the way, I also measured this on the 5 minute. I'll go to a 5 minute. I need to start these conversations on a 5 minute. I don't know why I don't ever do that. I'm always on the 1 minute. Look at this. Oh, fucking beautiful, man. God damn. So I'm measuring just the 4 candles. Look at it. Oh, I made a mistake here. I should have been on that wick. See that? Where's 50% of this? Right there. Man, come on, man. But what did they do? This snagged that guy. That's why I had the circle there, right? The circle was to snag that guy. So we came to 50%. And again, in a bullish scenario with this change of delivery here, that's why I was holding on to this, because I understood that this would be changing. I'm using that 101.5 and it hit that 50% to the tick, dude. I mean, dude, it's like probably to the tick. Let me see if I can measure it. This is how I make videos long. Come on, man. You think that's fucking random? So, I'm not crazy. Anyways, and also the 5 minute, wanted to get to an oversold here on the 5 minute because we had came up here already. And sure enough, it started to hit here, right? So, and it just got out and frankly, just completely wanted to be done. Like, I was just like, fuck this day. It was a good day if you understood, the logic. And if I was to draw the structure here, very simply, we'll just do it like this. So retrace 1, push up, retrace 2. Now there's that internal one here, which is from fucking that guy right there. And then we came back to there. You can see it on the 1 minute. And then boom, finally your finale. All right, and then for it to sweep back, but this response back up like this, bro, that's a different conversation too. But now because the 4 hour had a big ass stupid wick, right? And that was also conflicting with my idea, but that was the logic here. And now this is like the break of structure, and maybe this is the lower high, and then maybe we'll come back into this area before we push back up. And this is, see this coming back and this is kind of like what I was kind of talking about, like pushing up, coming back. Obviously this was deep and whatever, this might not look right, but in general that's kind of like what I was saying. But yeah, I mean this is not random, right? Those two areas, remember, those two areas are literally way before I had that logic here in the beginning of the day. So understanding where price can go is very powerful, right? But so they came in here and then they fucking tried to shift structure and then they pushed up all for this. Why? Because this was logical. Like, if the price is down here, we don't expect it to be pushing up anymore. Like, these drives up, like it's pretty obvious to me. It was, as you see, I took the sell from here to here, then I take the sell from here to here. Like, that's like, I can't be the only one that sees that, obviously, right? And then what's it called? We had another reason why I took that sell up here was because we had a nice divergence here, right? You could see that clearly that Dow was way lower, and we had now rated S&P and Nas had already rated. They came back into the range, and I can even draw this because this guy right here, not this guy, not that guy. What was I thinking? Here, right? Yeah. No. Yeah. Well, in general, here you could see that they came and took out this liquidity here. So we S&P did not. Look how dirty that is. That's fucking dirty. But no, I don't know. Shit, Dow looked kind of cleaner. But look at this. So they just swept that. We'll see what they do. But this was the logic of it pushing back up. Again, I'm not involved. I already overstayed my welcome, but I was really married to sealing that fucking that opening range gap. And then dollar also kind of coming down initially, and then retracing back was kind of like the flow of us too, right? So we were pushing down, they were pushing up, and hey, what are you gonna do? It's part of the game. I mean, the best loser wins in this game. So ugly price action. This is a consolidation right here. So if you're, man, there's so much to say. Again, I know we're still melting up, and equities and things are still pushing up, but with the dollar the way it is, and gold all the way up, and just if you look at the macro level, that this shit looks like it just looks bad. It looks like we're headed for some crazy disaster economy, but I still think they're gonna come up one more time though, because we haven't cut rates. We still have weeks for that. We still have a lot of time. And then the seasonal data does show still this. I mean, I drew this, so let's not make sure I'm not crazy. So, whatever they do here, this is the kind of consolidation that we're kind of sort of in. But, and then the September makes a high on the 15-year and the 30-year, right? So it makes a high in the middle of the month, right? And then it sells back off to come for the liquidity that we're actually building now, okay? And then the fourth quarter, we'll see if it pushes up. But the 5-year, we never take out this high. The 5-year, we literally will. This, I think I drew an example. I did, didn't I? Where is it? Just hold on. Right there. So in this case, I'm drawing this as the 5-year. The 5-year is really strong to the downside. But before you do, and this was a bad drawing, I should have drawn it up more first, like higher high, higher low, and then roll over. This was I was just moving too quick, but that will still be the logic of the 5-year. So I don't know. But we have a change of delivery here with this up candle, right? So we come down and we push down, right? So that's a change of delivery, and then that's could be a lower high, and this could be the sell. So it's just your probabilities, and we're sitting in the middle of the fucking market, right? So and to explain, did I go over this? Yeah, I did, right? Being here pre 930 with these equal lows. So this is what I was doing here. So I had the equal lows here, right? Those guys right there, which is obviously right here. So when I took the sell, my equal lows here was here, but then I have I'm going to hold it for the 50%, and then this daily gap, and then 2 drives, right? Because I don't expect it to just stop right here and then push all the way up. You're going to get some type of manipulation in 2 legs down, and that's what I was doing. And I was trying to see if it was going to rush, and it is what it is. But see, I didn't have to have a bias for that, right? Is what I'm really trying to say. Look at that shit. Pfft, bruh. Again, we're underneath the weekly open, so it's still right now as we're speaking a bearish candle. Again, they came down and they took that guy out. You got two. These are two gaps. So like I would want to see some type of I expected it to push down more in Asia. It would have been great if it did that first, but it did not. It was shallow, but it got stuck into this imbalance. So, and this is a support block right here too. This whole candle, this up candle, break above, and we sitting on it, right? And then boom, strong fucking candle. So, this is mixed marketing. I mean, mixed. This is giving me mixed signals in the market, right? Because again, I'm talking too much. Nvidia also on the weak side was acting tough, and it's still pushing down. So this looks bearish, right? So I think they're just doing this shit at the end of the day to hurry up and get these motherfuckers selling because they know they might have a nice drop back down in here. We'll see what they end up doing, but let me did I go over everything? So Dow, I still think Dow is bullish, but like it can't break these lows, right? And if it's bearish, it shouldn't take out these highs. But I would want to see a sweep in one of the directions. So if we're bullish, I would have liked to have seen a sweep here, and they did do that right here. So let's see, we'll see what they do. If we're bearish, I would want to see them, take out some liquidity and then roll over if we're bearish. So again, I'm completely neutral right now. The first 10 days is completely neutral, and that's what I was saying about not making any videos. But the volatility, because it being there's still the beginning of the month, is good right now, and that's kind of like why I'm still kind of hanging on. But I mean, I'm keeping it simple and taking logical shit. Look at this. So pushing up, weak, doesn't seal it, but that would suck. Look at that fucking gap right there. There ain't even, man, that would suck, bro. All right, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Not too dirty, not too bad. Get to a extreme, misses that gap, takes out that guy right there. That's what matters. And then they pop right back up, bro. I mean, that's dirty. So, well, now that I'm looking at it, let me see this for a second. I'm seeing this in a couple ways. So we had an expansion down and a retrace, and then we're getting a consolidation. So again, the direction I would want to go is as once we sweep one of these sides here. And to be honest with you, I would, I don't know. That's just rough. That's just rough. I don't know. I'd like to just go with the flow and say it's still bullish, but if they get a sharp sweep above this and come back in, I think they're coming for the lows. You're gonna want to see like a nice push through if it's bullish with Dow. S&P again melting up, man. So we hit the oversold here yesterday. I think we're bullish though. My plan is still going up. But I wasn't planning on buying where we were. I wanted to see some type of rate and sealment of the inefficiency. I'm tired. So this was, we had an expansion with a sharp push back up. So that's a reversal. We had a retrace. So basically what I was, basically saying over here is like, okay, we're not there, but that's if we were really, really going to change direction. But what I was saying here is like, we push up and it's a retracement. And then we, push back up and blah, blah, blah. So that's a retracement, expansion. Retracement. Ugh, dirty, bro. That shit right there is dirty. So you had a push back up and then still a retracement, I guess. Blocking in this imbalance. I don't even have it drawn, and then we get a push back up. So I think they're still going up here. So and then into that example of what I said in September. Man, did I make a long video? Fuck, 30 minutes. So there's that, unless we like freeze here. All right, and we have NFP on Friday, obviously, and you know tomorrow and Friday are going to be the best movers out of the week for sure. So looking forward to that movement, but those are the days you want to hold some ranges. But yeah, the first 3 days, especially with a holiday in an NFP week, you don't really want to trade those. And I'm still been trading them, and it's today was a little bit of a bitch. So I mitigated the losses and stuck to my guns, and I'm glad that they did seal it because it would have sucked if they didn't. So again, still assuming pushing. I mean, that's a huge move back up, dude. Jesus, it really is. But the drives, it's sort of a break, but 3 drives, retracement. Okay, so we're in an expansion phase. So we're in an expansion set. And let me go back to this. So it's the same ideas that I've already drawn, but I mean, okay, if we're coming down again, all right, what's today? Today's the 3rd. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna sweep down here. So 2 options if we're bullish. If we're bullish, I really can't do this, man. What the fuck? I really can't do this. It's crazy. I would have liked to have seen them sweep that before going back up. So extreme case, okay? Extreme case, we do this. Okay? And we do some shit like this. I'm going with the 15-year again. Just pretend it's, the 4th quarter. All right? So this is that option here where we come down, we sweep this breakout area. Now Asia London fucking go crazy, and then we push back up, right? And we do that. If it doesn't do that, then obviously I'm expecting it to go up first from here. Maybe come a little bit lower. So we have an expansion. If it expands, and we get in this push up, and then we get a retracement back in type of shit. We get a retracement. So expansion, retracement, expansion, right? And that's really all I'm really looking at. Assuming that we don't come and take these lows out down here. So, because this shit right here, bro, in my experience, especially with Dow, I mean, this gets rated, right? This gets rated. Big stupid wick here, right? Is seen as a gap. That's why I was trying to come down here back to 50% because I was talking about this daily gap. Yeah, right now, again, I'm not going to make things too difficult. So I was just flowing with the understanding when we bought this up, small retracement, they wanted to come for these guys. And I knew that here as a possibility. And that's what sucked. Like I understood that they could be doing that, right? But they came up for that final leg. The final leg. So from here to here to here to here. Higher, high, higher, low. Higher, high, higher, low. Finale. Right? So I understood that. That's what it is. Right? We're all sitting at an equilibrium, man. So again, we're still bullish. Until, I'm sure we clear these guys here. So again, look at how they fucking do it at the end of the day. All right, and then with that retracement back, that 101.5, that's beautiful. If it's bullish, if it's exceedingly bullish, it won't go past here. So if it was to fail, then we'll look at this 2 to 2.5. I'm gonna leave this the way it is. And then I'm going to measure this. I'll just do this for now. Let me look at this for a second. Yeah, I mean, anyways, unless it's really bullish and I go to this up here, from there to there, you know, you're not going to see it on there. Damn, I don't know what else to do, man. I'm exhausted from making videos, guys, just so you know. Like, super fucking exhausted, dude. Because the prep and the fucking all the rest. Anyways, let's just say if this holds, you know, then we're getting up here, pull back. So expansion, pull back, expansion, and we'll see if we, you know, run this high right here from last month. That's last month's high. Let me look at the monthly candle for a second too. So that's pretty good. They came in deep. Notice how this stays empty. And yeah, I still think we're bullish. So now we're gonna cross over from the open of the month, and you'll want to see, you know, pushing up, and you'll want to stay above that first imbalance of the month, right? So you're gonna want to stay above this here. And then today is Wednesday, so especially this too. So yeah, I think we're bullish. So again, was I interested in buying this? No, obviously, you know, it's not in my time window. I'm just completely exhausted and done. But we did sweep the midnight level, and I understood that, you know, once we had our drives, now it came back down for some type of retracement. I still feel this is shallow though, but maybe they don't want to give you a good discount. I mean, they want to keep this up. And then maybe NFP will raid this. So we're going to be building liquidity on both sides. You guys take care. God bless.